So, since v42 has risen and has came to the Paragon community, I've been seeing a lot of people make videos on like the top 5 most broken heroes, but nobody's talking about the heroes that have gone to shit since v42. So in that video, or in this video, I'm going to be talking about my opinionated top 5 heroes that have gone to shit in Paragon since v42. I want to make this video short, so I'm going to get right into it, guys. And in the first character, the first hero that I want to talk about, man, it's pretty sad because he was my favorite. He was my most played ADC right behind Murdoch, and that is Revenant. Revenant is busted up, man. He's busted up. I know some people are using him as a mid laner, like a mid lane caster, which is pretty solid early game. I've done it. And pretty solid mid game too, but when it comes to late game, man, I think he gets drenched too easy unless you have a really solid build. But I don't think he has the sustainability as, like, let's say Lieutenant Bellica or even like a Morigesh, right? Because he doesn't have that escape route. I mean, his ultimate's kind of like an escape route, but he doesn't really have like that escape route, like how Morigesh has that escape route and like how Bellica has that stun basically. So Revenant, I would say, it's sad to say, dude, because I love Rev. I love Revenant, but he's busted up, man. He's been busted up. I haven't seen somebody play good with him, and every time I play with somebody who is Revenant, we always end up losing. And it definitely sucks. I hope they do something with Revenant. I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know. And the reason I say he's not that great is because he's not up to pace with the speed of the game anymore. Right, his shots get off too slow, and I just think his abilities do some solid damage, right? But I just don't think that their sustainability is there enough to actually do well late game and, you know, do big things and get, like, you know, get kills like how he was doing before v42, man, because he was wrecking before v42, man. He was wrecking before Monolith. Check this triple kill out right here. I'm sorry, Richter, but I gotta finish you up, bro. But I would definitely say Richter would be my top right now that I think needs to come back, man, because he's 6 feet under, man. He died once and he's dead again, bro. And I don't think he's gonna revive and be a Revenant this time, bro. I don't think he's coming back this time unless they do something to make him up the pace with the speed. The next character and hero that I'm gonna be talking about is my opinion here. I don't really have that great of a deck for her, but I think it's Sparrow. Dude, I just don't think Sparrow is putting in that much damage anymore, man. Her attack speed's there, and maybe you have like an awesome build with her. But in this video right here, I'm playing as Murdoch. I end up melting people with Murdoch, dude. I think Murdoch's the best ADC right now. Murdoch and Twin Blast, and I say Twin Blast because of his speed. I think his grenades don't do shit anymore. I ult this Wukong right here. It was a perfect ult, and I had a fun time recording this gameplay. Unfortunately, I ended up losing this match, but I think Sparrow just isn't up to par when it comes to damage, right? I just don't think she's up to par. Now, I've played with a couple people that have had good decks and good builds with her, but the majority of people, man, that's why I say it's like my opinion. You might have a really good deck and love Sparrow, and, you know, and do the whole, you know, Katniss Everdeen action with her and be, you know, Katniss from the Hunger Games, but I just don't think she's up to par anymore when it comes to damage. You know, I don't think she's up to par, and if you're using the default deck, definitely stop using the default deck, man, because all you're gonna do is piss off your teammates, because the default deck, I really don't think utilizes her damage, you know, at the full potential. So I definitely think Sparrow needs a bit of a re-up. Maybe, you know, I think that, you might not think that, but I do think that she's lacking some damage, man. Next character is somebody who was OP, I would say, in just regular Monolith before v42, and that is Zinx. Guys, I think Zinx, and I think this is a good thing. I think Zinx is okay when it comes to team-based combat and stuff like that on team fights and in team fights, but as of right now, I think offlaning Zinx is a bad idea. I don't think she's that great anymore, and I didn't really use her that much anyway, but I did use her a couple times, and she wrecked, bro. If you upgraded the attack speed with Zinx, she wrecked before v42, and now even her ult doesn't really do that much, man. She doesn't have that sustainability, and she can't, you know, she can't take as much damage as she used to take before v42. So Zinx, don't really know what you would change with her, but you know, I really don't know how Epic would change, or I wouldn't say buffer or anything, but I do definitely think that she's downgraded since v42s came up. That brings us into our fourth hero, and that is Greystone. Now you guys might be thinking, man, yes, your eyes and ears aren't deceiving you. I said Greystone is underpowered. I don't think he's underpowered. I think his ult is screwed, bro. He doesn't regenerate any health at all. Which, I mean, some people are pumped about. Some people are like, yeah, dude, he regened too much health when he came back from his ultimate. Now he just regens like 1 bar, bro. Regens 1 bar of health, dude. Greystone is supposed to be a big-ass tank, man. And I loved his ult, right? And I didn't think that he was that overpowered anyway, because it's hard to be overpowered with Greystone, because all he does is swing his fucking sword. That's it, right? And his abilities, you know, are all stationary abilities except his jump ability. But I do definitely think that Greystone, like I said, it's opinionated. I don't know how they would buff Greystone, but I think that his ult got screwed. I think that he's taken a hit just because his ult's screwed, and because of the fact that he, you know, I mean, he regens 1 bar, right? The amount of health that he regenerates stays at the same, you know, the same health regen, right? It doesn't go up like how it used to. Like, you know, like I think back before V42, it was he regen like 75% health or 80% of his max health when he came back at full ult, you know, when he was 13, level 13. But now it just stays the same as like the first one. It might go up a little bit. I haven't used him that much since V42, but I do think the times that I have used him, I think that he's, I don't know, man. I just don't think that he's that powerful anymore. I think Quang, as you guys can see right here, is a better fucking tank than Greystone, and I don't think that that's how it should be. I really don't think that that's how it should be. But Greystone, I would say, is my 4th. This is in no particular order either, guys. I just want to run through these because I think it's a good topic. And, you know, everybody's really talking about, you know, who's the, you know, the 5 most broken characters like Countess and stuff like that. And I just wanted to kind of clear up stuff and say, you know, some of these characters aren't that broken. And the ones that aren't broken, the ones that are actually up the base with the game aren't being used, right? You know, and nobody's using Revenant. And anybody that does use Revenant ends up pissing off the whole team because everybody, you know, they suck. A lot of people use Sparrow, you know, and sometimes the Sparrow and the deck that person has is pretty good, but most of the time it's not, right? It's not that good. I haven't really played with that many good Sparrows. Zinx is the same way. Greystone is the same way. Wukong is the offlaner, man. There's no variation there, and I think that that's what this game really needs right now is some game rebalancing and some variation between certain roles. That's going to lead us into my last hero that I want to talk about, and this might be some controversy, but everybody's saying Muriel's broken, man. Her shields do too much, you know, shielding ability. I think Muriel right now is perfect, especially with the speed and the pace of the game. I think Muriel's really good. I love the balancing of Narbash as well. I love the balancing of Steel, and I actually like Richter a lot more than I did before V42 too. But who didn't I mention? I didn't mention FaZe. And I honestly think FaZe got fucking nerfed, man. I think she did get nerfed, but I think she got nerfed too much, dude. She was the main support. And I like how everybody's kind of doing variations now with like Narbash, Richter, Muriel, and stuff like that. But I do think that FaZe, her ult doesn't do as much, man. And a lot of people are excited about that, man. Like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like her ult doesn't regen health that fast anymore and doesn't really regen all that much health as it used to, right? And the attack speed's still there, but it's just not as efficient because the health doesn't regen, you know, as quick and as much as it used to before V42. Personally, man, I've played with a FaZe as Murdoch, as Twin Blast, and I can say, you know, of course, Muriel's the better pick. Narbash is the better pick, and I would honestly take Richter as like a tank support as a better pick than FaZe right now. And it saddens me, man, because I liked FaZe as my support as well. I've been using Richter and Narbash, Steel a lot more, and I really like Steel and how Steel's doing. But I do think that FaZe kind of, I don't really know, you know. The thing that's weird with this video is that I'm naming off all these heroes, but I honestly don't know how Epic can fix these guys. Right? Because a lot of people are excited and like the balancing of the heroes that I just mentioned, but I think every other hero right now is a bit broken. I think everybody's a bit broken right now. Not as broken as Countess, Wukong, you know, Chimera, Kalari, and those other people, but I mean, I think Gadget's abilities do crazy and substantial damage. I think Gideon's abilities, except his ult, I think his ult sucks now because it only does like 550 damage or 600 damage if you don't have stuff that ups your ability by 20%, right? Your ability damage. I think his rocks do a shit ton of damage, especially if you have, you know, certain cards that up the ability damage by 10% or 20%. and or you have like the gems on there. But you know, right now I would say Bellica's the mid laner, and you know, certain roles are designated towards certain heroes now, and there's not a lot of variation between different heroes, guys. There's really not, and that's not a bad thing, because you know, there was a lot of problems wrong before v42, but I do believe that there's some problems wrong now, you know, with v42. I'm still enjoying it. Like I said before in my final verdict video, I love the gem system. Card system's kind of getting boring to me, I won't lie, and a lot of people said that it was gonna, right? The card system, having only 3 cards kind of sucks. I think they need to up it another 3 cards. I think 6 cards would be badass, especially for players like Sparrow, because I think Sparrow needs more cards and more ability damage and more attack speed to actually have a full and efficient deck and to actually be a good ADC. But that wraps it up, guys. That's where I'm going to end the video. I don't want to make it too long. I'm just going to recap. I think Revenant, right? I think Revenant needs a bit of a buff. I think he's dead. He's just not up to pace with the speed of the game anymore. You know, I think he was more strategic and more slow, and that really doesn't work, especially when you have like a Quang or a Chimera or a Grux even in the jungle who's constantly ganking you. Sparrow basically the same way. You know, I think the attack speed is there, abilities are there, but I think the damage just isn't there with Sparrow, unless you're making a good deck. Like I said, opinionated. So don't be bitching, man. It's opinionated. Zinx, same way. I think Zinx, their ult definitely got nerfed a bit. Doesn't take as much damage. Sustainability's not there. And I think if you don't have attack speed, then her abilities really don't do that much either. But I have seen a good Zinx, but most of the time Zinx, the players that play Zinx are pretty bad. Greystone, his ult is screwed, got nerfed up. Don't really agree with it, but a lot of people do. And of course FaZe, because her ult doesn't do that much, and there's better, you know, there's better variation, and the variation there now is Muriel. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and of course smash that subscribe button for future Paragon and future content with whatever game I'm playing at that designated time, ladies and gentlemen. So as always, leave the outro. I hope all you guys have a great and peaceful afternoon. Take care and peace out. Thanks.